It's a question many may be asking now out of frustration. Does ceasefire mean something else in Hebrew? If it translates just fine from English, what the heck is going on? Because at the time of this recording I'm making, news outlets are reporting that Israel has closed all crossings into Gaza. They've carried out 20, some reports say 120 airstrikes. They've halted the influx of much needed aid and equipment into Gaza and have taken out over 97 Palestinians in the besieged territory of Gaza, according to established sources cited by legacy news outlets. Over 30 people taken out just since the dawn of today at the time of this recording. That's Israel sticking to a ceasefire, apparently. I thought ceasefire meant something else, not going to lie. Now, for what that's worth, and Israel is claiming violations of the ceasefire from the other side. So, okay, let's carry on. They've threatened to halt all aid until further notice. Mediators and guarantors like Qatar, like Türkiye, like Egypt, like America, that said ceasefire is happening. We pinky promise. So, I'll sign my name on this dotted line that both sides will honor it. They're now reportedly rushing to see, what's up and see what they can do to make sure this ceasefire holds, to make sure they can try to prevent the resumption of war on Gaza or in Gaza, especially, of course, the war on its civilians. Like I mentioned in my analysis videos, when the ceasefire actually came into effect, right, a few days ago, 8 days ago, I think, Israel, based on past behavior of the state, not my biases, based on the facts, Israel was likely to break the ceasefire if past behavior of a state is an indicator in any capacity to future behavior, which, geopolitically speaking, very much is the case a lot of the time. That's what they've done time and time again. They've agreed to ceasefires and then broken them as soon as it's convenient for them. Especially, guys, I want you to remember this, especially against nations and groups that cannot hit back, similar to how bullies usually target the weak, not the strong, that can retaliate to their bullying. Case in point, Iran started a war with Iran, 12 days of Iran responding, and Israel was like, okay, never mind. America, you coming in to negotiate this ceasefire or mediate? Yeah, I'll sign on the dotted line. Not a peep since. What happened? What is Iran? Is Iran not a threat anymore? Of course they are to Israel. But they punch back, so you have to be careful. With the Palestinians, women and kids lining up at a bakery, they don't fight back. Fish in a barrel, baby. Now, I assessed that Israel was likely to break the ceasefire agreement when the agreement was taking place, as many of you assessed. It's not me, right? Loads of you were like, yeah, Israel with a ceasefire. We know how that's going to turn out. Well, the real question is, analytically speaking, we're trying to put emotion and frustration aside, right? Analytically speaking, the real question is, how will the Muslim states and America that made so much noise about ensuring a lasting peace, how will they respond? How will Trump respond to being to the breaking of the ceasefire by Israel? So proud was Trump as he ended another war, apparently, right? Doing a victory lap in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, for the war he ended, as he kept saying, 3,000 years of war. I don't know how that works because Israel's like 100 years old, but sure. Go back to historic, I don't know, Bani Israel, bruv. I don't know. The latest news that's out right now is that after a day of brutal airstrikes in Gaza, violating the ceasefire agreement that Israel agreed to, Israel have decided we're going to continue to enforce the ceasefire. Don't worry, that was just me testing, just to see how other nations respond. Don't worry, I'm actually sticking to the ceasefire starting now. Like, it's a switch. It's a switch that they can just turn on and off at will. That's what happens when there's no actual kinetic ground force. There's no stabilization force or peacekeepers on the ground. When there's no one else, it's just the Israeli military. They decide what the heck goes on. Even the guarantor countries, they signed saying, we're the guarantors of the ceasefire. Well, where's your troops, mate? Where's your troops? Right? You let Israel hold itself to its word. He's going to promise, and then you're going to leave it up to them to check whether or not they're going to keep their promise? What? Do you know what country? Anyway, if it's the news you want, that's all I've got for you today. I'll update you when I've got more news. For the analysis of what this all means for the region, I was going to cover that today, but it's late, guys. It's late. It's like midnight here. So I'll do it tomorrow morning instead, inshallah. There's a lot to talk about in terms of the geopolitical next steps for regional powers like Egypt, Türkiye, Saudi Arabia, and even America. More on that tomorrow. For the unbiased news and analysis to help you better understand how the world works before you decide to take action in some way, shape, or form, or just stay informed. For the unbiased news and analysis without the Western spin, I'm tired. And I'm Mahfuz. And I'll see you on the next one.